बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम, लेकिन मुझे लगता है आपको ज़्यादा ही बोल गए। ज़्यादा अधिकारी इस सभागृह में नहीं है, इसलिए शायद चल गई बात, नहीं तो बहुत आपको कंप्लेंट्स आती हैं। मिस्टर अनुराग जैन, सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट फॉर प्रमोशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्री एंड इंटरनल ट्रेड, श्री उन्नत पंडित, Dr. Unnat Pandit, the Controller General of the Patents and Trademarks Office, Srimati Shruti Singh, Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, my good friend and old colleague with whom I worked for many years, Hemang Jani, who's now actively working on the Karma Yogi mission to get government also engaged with upskilling and retraining so that we can become more contemporary in our own thinking. You may like to get an IP certificate for the work that you are doing. Because it will be a process change and a process design process. Maybe, I don't know if Professor Pant can consider giving you that matter. All the distinguished members of the jury who have very kindly consented to spare their time and do the very onerous task of selecting from amongst almost everybody equally competent, the few who get the award. All the award winners were chosen out of a very large set of applications. Distinguished delegates who have participated in this two-day workshop from all walks of life. I'm told there are industry participants, there are participants from the field of research, a lot of our young students here who are potentially going to take care of this ecosystem going forward. Friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. Truly delighted to be here because this is the future of India. I'd like to congratulate all the award winners, very deserving, some familiar names, some names of people who have come up with historically very enduring products, particularly in the end what we saw, the Mysore soap or the Halim foods, which I assume would be delicious biryanis, probably, I don't know. Tata Steel representing India's historical foray into industry with all the innovation that they are involved with. Ather, who's been able to generate 1900 crores worth of commercial value for the patents that they have created. And that's the number so far. They have a long journey ahead of them. And so many other winners, each one of whom has done some path-breaking work. What moves society? What moves the country forward? What will be that one defining feature which will determine the fate of India and all of us? What has made America a superpower or America the center of new technologies, new ideas? Why are other countries focusing so much on research, development and innovation? These are questions that we must all ask ourselves, because they all lead to only one answer, and that is it's innovation which moves mankind forward. It's innovation that takes all of us in this journey of life. And one can look back, whether it was the age of fire or the invention of the wheel, probably once upon a time the steam engine, then diesel locomotives, now electric engines. If you look at railways, look at automobiles from power, petrol guzzling big cars to energy efficient cars to electric cars, now autonomous cars. The whole game is about innovation and what we can do to remain abreast of time, to remain ahead of times. This morning, and my apologies, I got late coming in, but this morning we had a meeting of the CSIR Society. And it was truly an enlightening experience. While of course, we had all the top scientific personalities in the room, we had people from industry, both public sector and private sector, sharing their ideas about the future of research and where the country is headed, what we need to do. When it came to the Prime Minister's suggestions and ideas, in the words, if I may borrow from the words of a senior business leader, one of the most respected leaders in India from the private sector, his words were, the suggestions were mind-boggling. Each one of them was thought-provoking, giving a pathway or a segue to new ideas, new ways to engage with innovation, and new ways to look at opportunities where innovation is called for. I mean, a simple thing like castor. I'm told castor is available almost all across the country. But as the Prime Minister said, we don't recognize and value the castor that is grown in India. It has over 300 applications. I didn't know this. I don't know how many of us in this room know this. But it has 300 applications, potentially. If value added, it can play a role in several walks of life, going well beyond our traditional use, maybe to light a lamp or something. And there are so many such hidden opportunities in India which we in India have failed to recognize, to capitalize on. Another thought that he gave us, and again eye-opener, was about agar oil. How many of us have figured out where the word agarbatti comes from? Did any of us ever try to find out? Of course, even I didn't know until a few months back when it was first referred to me by the Prime Minister. Agar is an oil. It's a perfumous oil which gives the perfume to the agarbatti that is lit in our homes. And guess where it is made? Any guesses in this room? Where is agar oil originating from? We need to have some more innovation about the geography of India. Agartala in Tripura.
Agartala, Tripura.
And on the outskirts of Tripura, of Agartala in Tripura, they have these plantations of agar tree, which is where the name Agartala came from. And the value of that oil is phenomenal. It runs into thousands of dollars per kilogram of that agar oil. If properly worked upon, researched, plantations planned, it can become a source of huge income for our farmers. And particularly for those in the northeast, where we really need to put a focus effort to take them forward, to integrate them with the development of the country. Friends, I'm just sharing all this with you because what is innovation? It's day-to-day occurrences. It's what you and I have to do on a daily basis, done smarter, done better, more efficiently, probably more cost-effective manner, becomes more useful, gives you some outcomes which are better than the past, maybe makes life easier, maybe makes your work less burdensome. I don't know, I may be sounding foolish, but that's how I understand innovation. But I don't mind sounding foolish because after seeing the Three Idiots and Amir Khan explaining, what was that question that the professor had asked on motion or something? Or
What
the
is
engine?
machine?
Machine.
What is machine?
I think that's
Chain.
where we all need to engage our mind. Simple solutions to day-to-day problems that each one of us or many of us or some of us is confronted with, and find a better way to do those things. And from within that, you'll of course come up with suggestions on maybe sustainability, on more efficient use of energy. You will make it. May I throw a suggestion to all of you? I don't know if you have noticed, but even today, as we speak, there are parts of the country, and sadly, even some parts in national capital or state capitals, where we have cycle rickshaws transporting people. Can you imagine the burden that the person has to go through while he's transporting somebody or taking somebody for a ride on that cycle rickshaw? Very often these are very old and quite rusted, so the chains
Yes.
are also pretty bad. Small innovation on that, maybe a very, very small horsepower electric motor or battery can just transform that man's life. It can transform the speed of that auto rickshaw, the cycle rickshaws. It can make his work so much less full of drudgery, so much less cumbersome, possibly help him increase his income. And if you have ever engaged with any of them, body full of blisters, working through the day in the sun, and truly something which is painful even to hear and see. Maybe Ather, where's the gentleman from Ather? Maybe Ather can come out with a solution for our cycle rickshaw drivers. Why I'm saying this is that this is what innovation is all about. And this is the huge impact it can have on society, it can have on the future of India, it can have in our lives, and that is what ultimately translates to the work of the patent office. Many of you I can see here would become lawyers of the IP ecosystem. I'm told many boys and girls from the colleges or law firms or students of IP are here. It's very easy to object, it's very easy to create problems for somebody getting an IP. But I would urge all those who are associated with the legal aspect of this subject to also have a streak of sensitivity in your work. So that if somebody has really done some good research work which deserves recognition or deserves to be granted a patent, let's not become a part of the ecosystem which is always out to disrupt anything good that is happening in the country. I'm told that objections are raised when patents have to be issued, right until the day when the patent is being issued. Possibly very often just to delay the issuance of a patent. Very often adjournments are sought from hearings only to delay the entire process. I have urged Mr. Pandit to see what we can do about these type of, sounds innocuous, but sometimes disruptive tendency to actually sully the good image of India, or the good work that's happening in India. And I would seek the suggestions from all of you. I saw what Mr. Pandit said, and I think we should do every one of what you present. Just take that as a roadmap and just try to see how we quickly, you and our department, can start implementing each one of the various suggestions that have emerged from this very important workshop. But I would still urge you that if you feel there is any potential to further improvise, please do let us know. Please do send in a mail. Tell us what we can do better. Thanks, boss. I was also told that in the patents office, there's a lot of people who approach and say that we'll help you get the patent faster, we'll help you sort out the paperwork. Is that true? I hope those people are not sitting in this room. तो मैं आज एक घोषणा करना चाहता हूँ, अगर आप सबका, I should talk like a poet, आप सबका आशीर्वाद हो तो मैं I am asking Mr. Pandit that starting Monday morning, what time does our office open? 9:30. So 10:30 to 11:30, all our offices will have an open video conference where whoever wants to interact with on any issue of the patents office, they make the access to that open. Give a no password. I mean, anybody can join that VC and raise their hand, which I think after COVID we have all learned how to use video conferencing very well. So you raise your hand on the computer. Our official will invite you to have your say. If you have a grievance, please flag it off there, follow it with an email. If you have a suggestion, please give it there. If you want to know about your application or you feel any harassment is being done to you, please say it there. And please record all of these VCs so that we have a record of it. And don't harass anybody that they have to come to any of our offices anymore. For that matter, I want you to stop allowing anybody to come to our office. Let them all work through the VC. All applications are now online. All are online. There's nothing physical. Papers are also submitted online. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Validated by all of you?
Yes.
Except GI and design. How much time will design and GI take to put it online? TCS को दे दो फ्री ऑफ चार्ज प्रो बोलो please ask Chandra, I'll also call him. Ask TCS, this is your contribution for getting an award today. Please have that. Otherwise ये तो 1 साल लग जाएगा. अभी 6-8 महीने बोल रहे हैं तो 1 साल लग जाएगा. तो आप किसी को बोल के एक अच्छा हमको, अगर और कोई भी हेल्प कर सकते हैं, one of you youngsters, it's an open invitation. Help us prepare a simple module. I don't think there's rocket science in this.
Correct.
तो इनोवेशन तो नहीं लगेगा ना, पेटेंट तो नहीं लगेगा इसके. लॉ में चेंजेस के लिए भी आप सुझाव दीजिए. We are already in the process of redrafting the law, and if you have any suggestions, send it ASAP, because we are finalizing our changes as we speak. So anybody has any suggestions where the law is a detriment or is creating any problems, please send that in to us in the next 72 or 196 hours, let's say, 4 days. That should be enough. They're all experts, so I'm sure they won't take more than 96 hours. So in the next 96 hours, the floor is open. Any suggestions you have, of course, I'll have to study it, we'll have to take expert advice, but not necessarily that anything you and everything you write will become a part of the law, but we'll give it a due consideration and a very fair, objective assessment. Please send in the next 4 days from now, and your time starts now. So please send us those suggestions. TCS, of course, will give us a module in the next 4 weeks. इतना तो डिमांड कर ही सकते हैं कि नहीं? 4 हफ्ते. And if any of our young boys or girls here is also interested, or if any of you have friends in the space of preparing such software, please help us. And I think let's institute an award of what, 11 lakh rupees, which whoever gives us the best software for that, right? Great. So there's an 11 lakh rupee award. Announce it to everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever gives us the best software which can help us for GI, right? And एक और किसने बोला था design.
Design.
उसका क्या है situation? So okay, now you have 2 awards out there. 2. Do you need separate software? क्या एक का ही लेके अलग अलग है. मुझे लगा बढ़िया आदमी हूँ, मुझे लगा कि शायद एक से काम चल जाएगा. So here we'll have 2 awards for whoever gives us the best software. Please open it up, write an email to all those who are in the software business to try and make it a challenge route. जिसका भी बेस्ट सॉफ्टवेयर हुआ उसको आप अवार्ड भी दीजिए और वो सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करिए. उसके लिए भी लेकिन लोगों को आपके दफ्तर तो आने की जरूरत नहीं है.
नहीं.
They can send in the hard copy till such time as the software gets validated and tested. But any engagement they want about it, वो VC पे ही होगा. सबका हमारे दफ्तर में आना मैं चाहता हूँ कि बंद हो जाए एकदम टोटली, इंक्लूडिंग डिजाइन एंड GI. और आपको कोई समस्या हो आप VC पे ही बोल सकते हैं, जो रिकॉर्ड होगी. अगर आपको कोई आउटसाइड द ऑफिस कांटेक्ट करता है किसी भी प्रकार से, कुछ भी प्रलोभन देता है, कुछ भी एश्योरेंस देता है, तो मैं आज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो 15 अगस्त को हम सबको 5 प्रण दिए थे, उन 5 प्रण के हवाले से आपको मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूं कि उसमें एक था कर्तव्य भावना. ये हम सबका सामूहिक दायित्व है. इट इज आवर कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी that if we want to develop country, that was the first commitment to the nation, then we are all equally a part of that journey, part of that story. The day we encourage any such activity, we are hurting India. We are hurting our children. We are hurting the future of India. And therefore I appeal to you, anybody approaches you for any extraneous support, please write in straight either to the secretary, write into the joint secretary, write into my office with name and details and a formal complaint. Please do not hesitate. Don't send anonymous complaints. Unfortunately, we can't act on anonymous complaints. Rather fortunately, because then that becomes another racket. But please participate in this effort. We are only working for you. I'm not going to be applying for any patent. I don't think in my life chartered accountants can't create any new technology. But please help us to make this difference. And don't let any bad or rotten eggs come into our ecosystem. Believe me, the country can become the number 1. I was given the statistics of how other countries have progressed in the last 20 years in patents. One country has done 200x in the last 20 years. We have done 33x. Nothing to be satisfied with. Of course, undoubtedly the patent office in the last few years has significantly reoriented itself. I have no doubt at all in that, and I thank you and your entire team for all the wonderful work you have done. Truly astounding. But the question is it a glass half full or a glass half empty? It's both. There's been some very good work. We acknowledge that. We appreciate that. But we still have a half glass to fill up. That speed of action, friends, is in your hands. All of you. And let's work together to make that difference. To make India, we've already come to the 40th rank in the Global Innovation Index from 81 barely 7 years ago. 2015 we were 81. We are 40. Are we satisfied?
No.
हल्का नो है. मैं अभी कल चुनाव की रैलीज करके आया हूँ. ऐसे कोई नो बोलता तो मुझे टेंशन हो रहा. Are we satisfied with the 40th rank?
No.
Shouldn't we be amongst the top few, top 10, top 20?
Fast.
Top 10?
Fast.
That's why yesterday I said we'll get a 2/3 majority in the state where I was campaigning. And that's what we will do. We'll be in the top 10. And let's all of us work. Friends, with your support, with your encouragement, with your cooperation, and with the collective efforts of the government, our academia, our industry leaders, our legal fraternity, our young boys and girls from the IP ecosystem, our IP offices. By the way, all our offices also have to be aligned. Have they been done? All have to be in the same place. So Ahmedabad will cover everything. Delhi will cover everything. Everything in every office. Excellent. So now you don't have to go for one design to some other office or GI to another office. Each one of our offices you can file in or write in or talk about any application for anything coming under this office. And Shruti ji, we have combined copyrights and trademark and everything into one body, right? In your office also? Entire things comes under Unnat Pandit now. Excellent. So we don't have now a separate person who's going to handle part of the work and another person handling the part. Entire ecosystem under this office is under Mr. Pandit now. That change has also been done. And when we all get together and collectively want to make a difference, I am very confident that there is nothing that will stop us from achieving timely grant of patents or copyrights or trademarks or designs or GIs, everything. I have no doubt in my mind that our young boys and girls are capable of speed in whatever work they are doing. I have no doubt in my mind that as we use technology smarter and in a bigger way, our efficiency will improve. Incidentally, we are digitizing all the records of the patent office. I went to the Mumbai office twice. It was a pretty sad sight. I went many couple of years ago before COVID and saw the number of files and papers and all of that. I suspect that digitization is going on now.
Yes.
So all files will move to the archives and offices will be fully functional on computers and fully digitized to prepare for online work. And we'll have smarter offices. Once these papers get out of there, we'll make these offices smarter, better, more friendly, for a better work environment, not for you to visit, for a better work environment for them. Incidentally, we are also giving out a call for controllers, while we'll shortly be expanding the number of controllers, particularly amongst other staff in the organization. We're just in the process of finalizing the number of people we need to additionally hire in the office, and then we'll go through of course the entire elaborate process that government has to go through: advertising, calling for applications, the examinations, interviews, all of that. In the meantime, for any professors, retired or serving, for any of our former controllers who have worked in the patent office, I'm making a public appeal to see if you can work for some more time, help us maybe for a year or two, help us clear the backlog expeditiously, so that by the time we rejig the whole office, modernize it and have our new teams in place, the expanded team in place, we don't start with a huge backlog, but we start with current and speedy disposal of all applications that are received. So I urge all of you, if you know anybody who's willing to serve, willing to contribute to this effort to clear out all the old historical pendency or backlog, I'd urge you to please write in to Mr. Pandit ASAP. And this again, you don't need big offices or anything. It's work from home also you could possibly accept. So please speed up this process, get more people, and get the pendency totally out of the way as soon as possible. I hope I can bank on all of you to help us in that.
Yes.
And if your clients, your people, any of you have any engagement with the IP office, please respond to queries, respond to any questions speedily. If it's a legal process, please ask your lawyers not to seek adjournments. We are shortly going to change that rule to make it onerous for those who are asking for adjournment repeatedly or not submitting the data in time. Somebody who's not submitting data in a reasonable amount of time, you can even reject the application and send it back. I don't want you to keep a pendency for something you're not responsible for. And that's a call to all of you. Please supply information in a timely manner. And those who do these repeated objections, if you find any pattern in that, if you find any motive in that, we must think of ways in which we can penalize such persons also. It's high time we put a stop to these kind of practices. Maybe some of what I said is not necessarily rightly said in front of the media, but I think the media is our conscience keeper. And I do hope that collectively, in which the media also, in my humble opinion, has a role, we can bring in that high level of transparency, integrity, efficiency, speed, which will be the defining feature of India and our innovation ecosystem. So friends, I hope I have your support.
Yes.
Full support.
Yes.
Continued support.
Yes.
I'm not talking of vote, I'm talking of support. Because all louder below, right? Great. So let's go for it. Congratulations once again to all the winners of today's award ceremony. These are 2 years awards we have given. Next year, of course, will be only for 1 year. I hope the competition becomes even more aggressive. I hope we have many more applicants for the awards. And let's together script India's journey in the Amrit Kal, the next 25 years, as we move towards a developed economy, as we move towards prosperity for every single citizen in this country. Let's go for it, friends, together with the spirit of oneness and togetherness, and let's make a difference to the future of India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, sir, for your motivation, for your guidance, and for your words of wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal. And now, for vote of thanks, may I request Professor Natya Pandit ji, please.